Hello students of class ICSE, class 9. I'm meeting you after quite a few days. Hope you are all fine at home. I agree it's a little bit boring staying confined in your homes for such long. But as I have told you previously, please make use of this time to study and to brush up on things that you are weak. I have already started Merchant of Venice with you. I have done scene 1 and scene 2 of Act 1. Today I'm going to take your first poem. The name of the poem is The Heart of the Tree. The Heart of the Tree, written by Henry Bunner. See, first before going into the poem, I'm going to discuss about the themes of the poem. First I'll talk about the theme of the poem. See, here you have learned from your very childhood how important trees are for mankind, is it not? The poet is aware of the crucial importance of trees. কবি জানেন যে গাছ আমাদের জন্য কতটা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ. How do the trees help us? Trees breathe in carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen. Trees help, trees provide cool breeze and help to cool down the atmosphere. The transpiration from trees also helps to also has a cooling effect on the atmosphere. Just as I mentioned a little while ago, trees breathe out oxygen, and we humans and all animal kind, we inhale this oxygen to survive. The transpiration process from trees also contributes to the process of water cycle, which is very essential for rainfall. Therefore, we say that trees help to attract rainfall. More the number of trees, the greater is the amount of rainfall. Again, trees bear beautiful flowers and trees give us rich fruits. The seeds that fall from a tree sprout new plants. And again, new plants are born, and from that, new trees grow. In this way, when there is a rapid multiplication of trees, you have a dense forest. And more the number of trees, more the number of forests that we have, more the area of the earth under vegetation cover, the greater will the boon be, or to say, more secure will be the future of mankind. The more secure will be the coming generations. Plants, we eat plant products, thereby plants, they give us vital nutrients to our body. They are our source of medicine and wood. Wood is very important for a variety of purposes like making furniture, and therefore wood contributes to the economic activity of a nation. Thus, what does a tree do? A tree is not only a tree, it contributes from the very survival of man. It contributes in umpteen number of ways, in innumerable number of ways, to the well-being of human beings. Therefore, you can say that the well-being of a nation, the development, the growth of a nation, the well-being of a nation, in fact, the well-being of the entire mankind depends to a large extent on trees. Therefore, tree plantation. So the poet says that planting trees is a blessing on the neighborhood. So the first theme of the poem has basically, two themes. The first theme is the importance of trees. How trees are a blessing to mankind. How trees shower innumerable number of boon. How trees are a great boon to mankind. How, they give us innumerable number of gifts. So this is the first aspect of the poem, the first theme of the poem. And the second theme, of course, obviously progressing from the first theme, is the poet's concern for the future of mankind. Because what are we doing? We are cutting down trees. We are destroying our forests. Therefore, the poet can probably foresee, probably visualize the impending doom for mankind that is coming. We depend a lot on trees. They beautify our environment, and as we have been talking again and again, They cool the atmosphere, they help attract rainfall, they give us shade, they give us innumerable number of things. They are source of medicine, food, and so on and so forth. Therefore, cutting down trees, destruction of trees will be nothing but impending destruction for the future generation. So the poet says, when we read the poem, you will find ki Kobi bolchen je je lokti, when we create a forest, it is actually a harvest for the coming generation. The forest or the tree that we, the seed that we sow today is going to grow into a tree, and the benefits will be reaped by the coming generation. Because what happens if there are no trees? The entire world will turn into a deserted, barren land, and all living things are going to face hunger, death, and destruction. So it is the trees which are responsible for the well-being of not only mankind, but all living beings. It is important not only to us who are living, but as the word, you will see the poet uses an expression in his poem, it is important to all unborn eyes, that is people who are yet to be born. Even to them, it's very important that we plant trees today. So when you read the poem, you will find that the poet harps upon the important themes of this poem are: number one, the importance of trees, how trees benefit mankind, what are the blessings that trees bestow on mankind, and second is the poet's concern for the future generations, because man is destroying trees. Now, let us just go through very briefly into some important aspects of this poem. Number one, the poem the heart of the tree, very obviously from the name itself, the title itself suggests that the poet here harps upon, the poet here talks about the important quality of trees. The poet here tries to draw our attention to the important qualities of the trees. Second is, what is the structure of the poem? You will find that at the beginning of each stanza, the poet asks a question, and in the rest of this stanza, he suggests answers. He suggests an answer to that question. Third is, in a very simple way, in a very lucid language and simple way, the poet brings out the great importance of trees in our lives. Fourth is, the poet harps upon these points that গাছেরা মানুষের খুব ভালো বন্ধু, তারা আমাদের ঠান্ডা হাওয়া দেয়, তারা খুব সুন্দর. Trees are the very embodiments of beauty. Trees provide joy and benefits not only to mankind, but to birds, animals, and all human beings. Trees, plants help to bring about rainfall, and therefore, just because plants help in this process of water cycle and bringing about rainfall, trees help in regeneration and rebirth. They enrich our forests, they provide us food, they provide food not only to man but also to animals, and therefore it is because of all these blessings bestowed by trees that a man who plants a tree bestows a great blessing. It is not a simple act of planting a tree. Planting a tree is, according to the poet, is not a simple act of planting a tree. Rather, it is a blessing that a man bestows on his entire neighborhood, entire mankind as such, because that tree, when it grows big, it is going to bring so many blessings to the people around. See, when the poet sees a tree being planted, when a tree is planted, it contributes very positively to the progress of a nation in various ways. So these are the main points that the poet harps upon in this poem. So now students, let us go into a reading of the poem and I'll explain the lines one by one again. If there are any problems, you can call me up later. So the very first line, what does he plant? Who plants a tree? As I told you, the very first line of each stanza begins with a question. The poet puts a very simple question before his readers. And what is the question? The question is, what does he plant who plants a tree? যে লোকটি একটা গাছ বপন করছে সে আসলে কি বপন করে? He plants a friend of the sun and sky. He plants the flag of breezes free. তো প্রথম উনি উত্তরে কি বলছেন? যে লোকটি একটি গাছ লাগায় সে কি করে? He plants a friend of the sun and the sky. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of he plants a friend of the sun and the sky? কবি এখানে বলতে চাইছেন যে একদিন কি হবে? গাছটা অনেক লম্বা হয়ে যাবে। And when the tree grows tall, it will appear to reach out to the sky and the sun. It will appear as if the poet is reaching out to the sun and the sky. Not only that, as if the tree is trying to befriend, as if the tree is trying to establish a friendship with the sun and the sky. Not only that, the relation between the sun, the sky, and the tree is really one of friendship, because it is a scientific fact that in order to produce food for itself, the trees carry out the process of photosynthesis, and for that it is dependent on the sun. So the sun acts like a friend to the tree. Similarly, the tree which spreads out its branches in the sky, in the air, is like a sun, is like a friend of the sky. What the tree does? It plants the flag of breezes free. What is the meaning of this? See, before I go to this line, let me also point out that there are other ways in which the tree is a friend of the sky, because what the tree does, it purifies the air. It takes in carbon dioxide and breathes out oxygen. It also carries out the process of transpiration, thereby helping to create rain. So in all these ways, the sun and the tree and the sky, they are interlinked and they are friends to each other. Now we come to the third line. He plants the flag of breezes free. What is the meaning of this? See, like a flag, just like a flag which flutters in the breeze. When there is a breeze, the leaves of the tree, they flutter in the breeze, and they provide us soothing when air blows. When air is blowing, the leaves of the tree, like a flag, they flutter in the breeze and they provide us cool, soothing breeze. The shaft of beauty towering high, he plants. What's the fourth line? The shaft of beauty towering high. Shaft means here a tower. The tree grows tall like a tower, and the very presence of the tree creates a sight of great beauty. The tree is a sight of great beauty. So the tree grows tall like a tower and it presents great beauty. He plants a home to heaven and high, for song and mother croon of birds, in hushed and happy twilight herds, the treble of heaven's harmony. These things he plants who plants a tree. See, because the trees grow so high into the sky, it appears as if he plants a home to heaven and high. A man who plants a tree, it seems as if he has made a home close to heaven, that is close to sky. Again, he is highlighting the fact that the tree grows very tall. See, the man who plants a tree, he provides shelter to the birds, because the birds build their nest in the tree, and in that nest the mother bird croons. Croons means sings. The mother bird sits in the nest and sings to her young ones happily with a soft and gentle voice in the twilight. When the sun when the sun is setting, in that twilight hour, the mother bird returns to her nest in the tree, and she sings sweetly to her nestlings, the young ones. The birds, and when we hear that song of the bird, it appears as if by its song the bird adds a pleasant harmony to our surrounding, to nature, to the universe. So a man who plants a tree is not only, it is not only that he is planting a tree, but he is contributing in all these ways. Now we come to the second stanza. What does he plant who plants a tree? Once again, the poet poses the same question. What does he plant who plants a tree? একজন যিনি গাছ বপন করছেন উনি আসলে কি বপন করেন? It is again, as I told you, planting a tree is not only the act of only planting a tree, it is something more than that. He plants cool shade and tender rain, and seed and bud of days to be, and years that fade and flush again. What is the meaning? See, here the poet goes on to suggest more benefits of the tree. In the first stanza, he has already suggested a few benefits of the tree. Now he goes on to suggest a few more benefits of the tree. What he says, in course of time, this tree will grow tall, and it will provide cool shade. Not only that, as I have told you quite a few times earlier, through the process of transpiration, it will cool the air and help to attract rainfall. So somebody who plants a tree is actually planting what? Cool shade and rainfall. And seed and bud of days to be. What will happen? The trees will produce flowers and fruits, and from the fruits, seeds will fall down to the ground, and new plants will sprout, which will in course of time grow into large trees, and soon there will be a dense forest. So a man who plants a tree today is actually planting, he is actually creating a future where there will be many more trees, and years that fade and flush again. After many years, fade and flush again, what will happen? After many years, old trees will fade, means old trees will wither away. And from these old trees, seeds will come and new plants will sprout, and there will be new trees. He plants the glory of the plain. He plants the forest's heritage. What is the meaning of that? See, these trees are our natural heritage. What is the meaning of heritage? Heritage is something that we have inherited from the past, that have come down to us from the past generations. So, trees have come down to us trees were always a part of nature. So, trees have come down to us as a natural heritage. So, somebody who plants a tree actually helps in conserving, in preserving this natural heritage. When you find trees on the plain land, it adds, the poet says, he plants the glory of the plain. What is the meaning of this? It means that when there are trees, the plains appear very, very beautiful. The trees increase the beauty of the plains. The harvest of coming age, the joy that unborn I shall see. These things he plants who plants a tree. Now what he says, the forest, the man who plants a tree is actually creating a forest which our future generations, that is unborn eyes, people who are yet to be born, people, the upcoming generation, the future generation, that generation is going to reap all the benefits of the tree that is being planted. So a man who plants a tree today, a man who plants a tree today, what he is doing? He is not only planting a tree today, but he is creating something positive, something good, something beneficial for the coming generation also, because the tree planted today is going to shower all those benefits to the future generation that the trees planted by the past generation is showering on us today. Now we come to the third stanza. What does he plant who plants a tree? Once again, the poet starts with a question. What does he plant who plants a tree? যে একটা গাছ বপন করছে সে আসলে কি শুধু একটা গাছই বপন করে না আরো কিছু? Let's see what the poet says. He plants in sap and leaf and wood, in love of home and loyalty, and far cast thought of civic good. See what the poet says. The poet now becomes a little bit more philosophical in the final stanza. According to him, a man who plants a tree with a sense of loyalty. Loyalty means for whom we have loyalty. We have loyalty for our family, we have loyalty for our friends, we have loyalty for our relatives. Loyalty means we know that we have to do something, we have to be true to them, we have to do something nice to them, we have to do something nice for them. So a man who plants a tree actually displays his sense of loyalty. Because how? In what way? It shows how much he loves not only his immediate family and friends, but he loves the entire universe. He has this civic good in mind. Civic good means good of everybody in mind. He is concerned about the future of the earth in general. His blessings on the neighborhood, who in the hollow of his hand holds all the growth of all our land. See, this man, this human being who plants a tree, what he gets, the trees are going to provide cool shade, cool breeze, rain, food to the future generation. Therefore, the man who plants a tree today, the poet feels, what will happen without plants? Man is going to suffer. So the poet feels that a man who plants a tree, he is, look here, who is in the hollow of his hand. Here his is written in capital H. Why? Normally when we write God, we write in capital G. So the man who plants a tree, the poet has raised him to the level of God. Why? Because he, by using the capital H, the poet indicates that this man who is thoughtful enough to plant a tree is godlike in his actions, because his action is going to shower. He is concerned for the future. He is concerned for man. He is concerned for his fellow being. And therefore, by planting a tree, what he does? He ensures that the future generation, the people living at present around him, and the future generation are not deprived of those numerous benefits that are, endowed on human beings by plants, that man can progress by utilizing the various gifts of trees. Because see, the progress of the nation, the progress of the continents and all the nations there, all the nations in the world depend to a large extent on the trees. Because without trees, our land becomes barren. It becomes impossible for us to lead healthy and prosperous lives. Therefore, the progress of the universe, the progress of all mankind, the progress of the entire earth is possible only by planting trees. Therefore, a man who is concerned enough, a man who is aware enough, who plants a tree today, what he does? He gives all these gifts. He bestows all these gifts upon the present and the future generations. So this is the poem. Before I go, I will point out two things. See, here if you talk about the use of figures of speech, you will find that there are basically two important figures of speech. Number one is alliteration. Alliteration means repetition of a number of words having similar sounds. For example, he plants a friend of the sun and the sky. See, sun and sky having this S sound. He plants a flag of breezes free. See, in these lines, he plants a home of heaven high. You see, plants is being repeated. See here again, in hushed and happy twilight heart, how many words are there in the same line beginning with H? So these are examples of alliteration. There is also example of metonymy. Metonymy is what? Metonymy is a figure of speech in which a thing or concept is called not by its own name, but rather by a metonym, that is, by the name of something associated in meaning or something associated in concept. Means যখন আমরা কোনো একটা জিনিসকে তার নিজের নামে না ডেকে আমি এমন একটা জিনিসের নামে ডাকলাম, এমন একটা কনসেপ্টের নামে বা এমন একটা জিনিসের নামে ডাকলাম যেটা ওই জিনিসটার সঙ্গে জড়িত, এটাকে বলে মেটোনমি। দেখো এই কবিতাটায় মেটোনমি আছে কেন? According to the poet, the one who plants a tree plants, you have this line in the poet, one who plants a tree plants cool shade, tender rain, a friend of the sky, the forest's heritage, sap and leaf and wood. These are all phrases and metonyms because instead of saying plants a tree, one who plants a tree, instead of saying plants a tree, I call cool shade. See, cool shade is a quality associated with the tree. I say he plants a tender rain. Tender rain is a quality or thing associated with the tree. So there is metonymy. As far as figures of speech are concerned, you have metonymy and alliteration in this poem. So that is all. Quite a simple poem. I hope you are not going to have much difficulty with this poem. Please go through the poem, listen to the explanations a couple of times. After that, if you have any problem, you are always free to give me a call. I will explain your doubts. I'll explain your doubts, and do collect the notes after a few days. Thank you, friends. Goodbye.